Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Anna Morphides with Mending Hearts Counseling. And as I promised, we are going to continue on with one more week of doing our gratitude. And I'm going to also implement some self-love as well, our own mirror work, because the Louise Hay book was based on a 21-day program. And it turns out, and I didn't remember this, that the book The Magic is based on a 28-day program. So we're going to continue on with this last week, focusing on gratitude. And I've been really enjoying doing these affirmations from the book The Magic, in particular the ones that say thank you for the great news, and really thinking in my mind about the things that I desire, what they would be, and how I am actually worthy of having them. And I don't feel like predominantly there's doubt in me that the things that I want can manifest, and they will manifest, because it's just how it is. Like, it's just the law of attraction, how it works. If we predominantly doubt something, then it will just stay in that doubting folder. But if we predominantly know and think and feel that, yes, we can have everything that we wish to experience, then it's going to come true. And the chapter that we're going to read today is actually all about that. This is day 22, and it is called Before Your Very Eyes. And I do want to say that the affirmation, thank you for the great news, that I've been saying every day, sometimes I do want to point out that the news that we will receive may not feel as if I would picture them in my mind to be. So say that I applied for a job, and in my mind I was saying, thank you for the great news, which would mean a yes to getting the job. Sometimes the great news is the no that you're getting from that job, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to move forward for the job that is actually more in alignment with you. Because a lot of the times as humans, we settle for things because we don't believe that we're worthy, or sometimes we just settle because it's comfortable, or sometimes we settle because of fear of doing the work again, to like potentially be in a new relationship or potentially find another job. Like, all that stuff takes time and energy. And I do feel that when we've given something, like Bashar always says, when you pursue something with passion, and you take it as far as you possibly can, and it's not returning to you what you think and feel the return should feel like for you, then you know that it's just time to pursue a different passion. That's all that it is. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy, or you're not good enough, or that you're this or that you're that. And I know it takes time and effort and energy, and I don't know why I'm going to cry, but you owe it to yourself to receive those news as something that is positive and not negative, because that is also the way that we keep continuing with positivity in our life, so we can bring in more experiences that will reflect that positivity. Because actually Bashar says this too, when you take something that feels negative and you focus on the positive aspects of it, then it will go away. Like that challenge or that challenging feeling, that thing that's bothering you, it will go away, because it's no longer something that was of disservice to you. Now it's just a beautiful experience that you had, you've learned, you've conquered, and now it's just time to continue on a different path. That's all that it is. So don't be fooled by how news are being delivered to you, because it's not always a yes, because Many times, the no that we get will lead us to the yes that we are supposed to be having. I hope I explained that properly. So let's dig into day 22. Before our very eyes. This world, after all science and sciences, is still a miracle. Wonderful, inscrutable, magical, and more whoever will think of it. I'm not sure I'm getting this. This world, after all our science and sciences, is still a miracle. Wonderful, inscrutable, magical, and more to whoever will think of it. Okay, this is by Thomas Carlyle. He passed away in 1881, and he's a writer and historian. Okay, so Rhonda, the author of this book, is actually telling her personal tale about her discovery of gratitude and how it affected her life. So she says that 7 years ago, when she first discovered the secret and the magical power of gratitude, so the secret basically is the more grateful we are of things that we have in our life right now, the more we're going to be open to receive more things to be grateful for, because we're not focusing on lack. So we're supposed to focus on what we have so we can receive more of what we want to have. Because when we focus on lack, then we get more things to continue to experience lack, because that's just the way the law of attraction works. We get predominantly what we think and feel. So she says that when she discovered the magical power of gratitude, she made a list of all her desires. And it was a long one. At that time, there seemed to be no possible way that her desires could come true. Nevertheless, she took her top 10 desires and she carried them with her on a piece of paper every day. And she says, whenever I had an opportunity, I would take out my list and read it through, giving it as much gratitude for each desire as I could, as though I had received it. With my number one desire, the desire I wanted more than anything else, I kept it constantly in my mind, and I would say the magic words, thank you, thank you, thank you, for it multiple times a day and feel as if it had come true. So one by one, every desire on my list magically appeared before my very eyes. As I received my desire, I would cross them off my list, and when I had new desires, I would add them to my list. So she would keep the top desire that she had on her list in her mind, and she would say the magic words thank you multiple times a day and feel as if it already had come true. I'm gonna definitely try this. There's definitely, yes, at least 3 desires that I have that I want to experience in this lifetime. That, yes, so I'm going to be doing this. One of my desires, she says, from my original long list was to travel to Bora Bora near Tahiti. After spending a beautiful week at the exact place in Bora Bora I had listed, another beautiful thing happened. I was flying to the mainland of Tahiti on my way home when the airplane stopped en route to pick up passengers. The flight had been empty, but it filled to the brim with native Tahitians, and suddenly laughter, smiling faces, and a happiness that was palpable surrounded me. As I enjoyed the short flight with these beautiful people, it became crystal clear to me that the reason why they were so happy, they were grateful. They were so grateful to be alive. They were grateful to be on the airplane. They were grateful to be with each other, and they were grateful for where they were going. They were grateful for everything. I could have stayed on that plane and traveled around the world with them. It felt so good to be with them. And then it struck me that I had just received my final desire. Bora Bora was the last desire on my original long list, and the reason I was on that plane was before my eyes: gratitude. I've shared this story as an inspiration for you because no matter how big your desires seem to be, you can receive them through gratitude. Even more than that, gratitude will bring a joy and happiness for life that you've never felt before, and that is truly priceless. From the time I began using gratitude and the law of attraction to the time I received my final desire on my original list was 4 years. To give you an idea of the enormousness of receiving all my desires in that amount of time, when I created my desire list, my company was $2 million in debt, and I had 2 months before I would be forced to shut it down and would lose my home and everything I owned. The money I owed on my personal credit cards was a small fortune, and yet on my desire list was to own a big house overlooking the ocean, to travel to exotic places in the world, and to have paid all of my debts, to expand my company, to restore every relationship to the best that it could be, improve the quality of my family's lives, to be 100% healthy again, and have unlimited energy and excitement for life, along with the usual list of material things. And my number one desire, which seemed to be like an absolute impossibility to many of the people around me, was to bring joy to millions of people through my work. The very first desire that I received was bringing joy to millions of people through my work. The rest of my desires magically followed, and one by one, as they appeared before my very eyes, I crossed them off my list. So now it's your turn to use gratitude's magical power to make your desires appear before your very eyes. At the start of the day, take your top 10 desire list that you created, read through each sentence and desire on your list, and for 1 minute, imagine or visualize that you have received your desire. Feel as much gratitude as you can as you have it now, as if you have it right now. Carry your desire list with you today in your pocket. On at least 2 occasions in the day, take out your list, read through it, and feel as much gratitude for each one as you can, as though you have received it. I'm going to read this again. Carry your desire list with you today in your pocket. On at least 2 occasions in the day, take out your list, read through it, and feel as much gratitude for each one as you can, as though you have received it. If you want your desires to come more quickly, I would highly recommend that you carry your desire list with you in your wallet or purse from this day forward. And whenever you have time, open it up, read through it, and feel as much gratitude as you can for each one. When your desires appear before your very eyes, cross them off your list and add more. And if you're like me, each time you cross a desire off your list, you will be in tears of joy, because what seemed impossible was made possible through the magical power of gratitude. And it is so true. I mean, who knew that with the power of gratitude, I would be able to get myself from a place of thinking and feeling that I was not worthy, not good enough, bound to be rejected, bound to be alone, to where I'm actually helping others understand where all these unhelpful core beliefs stem from. And I know it was always my dream and my desire to be able to have a YouTube channel and like reach that 1K subscriber moment. I'm not really sure why, but I think it's because it's the one that allows you to have it, I guess, be monetized. So then that could be my predominant job, because this is what I love doing the most. And I have envisioned it, but I never thought that it would actually come true, but it's actually come true. And even though it feels a little bit weird to say that out loud, because sometimes I feel like it shouldn't be worthy of monetization, not because of the quality of my work, but I feel like that core belief of mine that I'm not worthy or I don't deserve it, because I mean, if I could give it all for free, I would, but then it's not so easy for me to accept the energy exchange of all the work that I've put in, not only on this channel, but like all my studies and all the books that I've read and all the money that I spent to go to school and get these degrees and the endless nights of studying and all these things. Yeah, so point of that is when you really focus on something and you want it to become in reality and you're so grateful for everything. I've been so grateful for everything. I'm so grateful for everything, even if it's shit. I try to find the good in it. If people are mistreating me or not showing up for me or whatever it is, I always try to find the good and positive in it, and I don't I don't allow myself to complain and feel like, oh, poor me, I'm such a victim, because I'm really not a victim. None of us are victims. The only thing that we become victims to is just those unhelpful core beliefs. And we act out like our inner child and what it did not received. So essentially, we're not really victim to anything, because even that we chose. We chose our life path. We have soul contracts with people that we already have decided that they were gonna unfold this way. Of course, we all have free will. So the soul contracts can also change due to our free will. So, but that's okay, because just because one soul contract ends with a job or a person or an opportunity does not mean that there's not another one waiting around the corner for us. And that is always the case, because there's always a backup plan. The universe does not want to take anything away from you. It actually just wants to remove anything that is not serving and replace it with what is. And all we have to do is know that we are worthy of it and allow for it to come in. And then, of course, the best way to receive is to feel good. And the best way to feel good quickly is through gratitude. So when we're grateful for everything and anything, even if it's challenging, then we're constantly in a good, joyful mood. So then the chances that we're going to receive more of that good, joyful greatness is exponentially now achievable. So we're going to do this, and I'm actually really going to spend lots of time doing that. I don't remember doing this the first time around. I'm pretty sure I did not do this. So I'm going to really do this today or tomorrow morning, probably. When I count my blessings, I'm going to write out my gratitude of 10 things that I feel blessed to have in my life. And then I'm going to write why I'm grateful for that. And we're going to reread our list. And at the end of each blessing, we're going to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel as grateful for that blessing as much as we possibly can. And then we're going to write out our top 10 desire list, and we're going to take it with us and remember through the day to read through it and feel so much gratitude for each and every single one of those things as if you already have it. And then before you go to bed, and I'm really going to be needing this today, is to think of the best thing that happened to me today, so I don't ruminate and or fixate on the things that I guess I would hope that I would have gone differently today. But then I also know they're going exactly as they are meant to be going, because sometimes the things that we think that we want are not the things that we're supposed to be having. But we have to have trust and faith and completely surrender to Creator, because He also doesn't give us anything that we cannot handle. So I'm really going to dig into that today, because I feel like I really need it. As one of the great news that I received today was a no as opposed to a yes of something that I wanted to experience. But I also know that it's okay, because this no is going to lead me to another yes. And that's true for all of us. So don't ever feel any lack, right? Just know that the right yes is just going to be around the corner, and you might get another no until you get to the other yes. But then just always have that same knowing and keep continuing to be grateful for everything you've learned from the no until you're in the right vibration for the yes. And yeah, so that's going to be our magical practice for today or tomorrow, whenever it is that you're watching this video and doing it. And then don't forget to do your mirror work. Do not forget to look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and just say, I love you. You're so great. You're going to be okay. Like, what do you need today? How can I support you? How can I love you today? Like, that's a really big thing, especially for people like us with an anxious attachment style or a prior anxious attachment style that never really had that chance to cultivate love within ourselves as children, because it was not given to us. And then through recapitulation, we've had the same experiences in our connections where we seem to be always chasing for someone to love us. We don't have to do that anymore, because we can show up for ourselves. So I can give love to myself. And for that, I am so grateful for to know, because I am worthy of like real, unwavering love exactly as I give it to myself. And that question, like, how can I love you today? How can I love you more? I can do that for me. So remember that you can always give to yourself anything that you want to experience from others. You give it to yourself first. And there's no lack in that. There's great power in that. And then just have trust and faith that eventually reality is going to come and meet you. And I feel you. If you haven't had a chance to experience that complete feeling of being worthy to receive the love through your work or your relationship or your friendships, I promise you, if you continue to do this work, it will come to you. And I know that it's going to be the same for me too. So with all of my gratitude and all of my love, I love you so much too. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Have a super rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow for day 23. Bye.